Hello, everybody. Back here again for another vlog a day, and today is Thursday, the 18th. And today was a rather interesting day weather-wise. Went to bed last night. It was nice and warm, with the possibility of some snow coming in late this afternoon. And thought really nothing else about it. Just went on and went to bed like it was no big deal. Woke up this morning at a much earlier hour than what I wanted to wake up, but when you wake up, you wake up. There's not much you can do about it. So I looked out the window and I was like, holy crap, looks like it snowed, which I didn't expect to be there yet. And poked my head out and I was like, holy crap, it's snowing like hell. And it was really coming down like fast. It was a really fine snow, but it was coming down and building up so quick. It was ridiculous. And I looked out and there was like no tracks and stuff anywhere around, the road and that kind of thing. It was like just fully covered. And when everything's covered, you can't tell if you have a half inch or if you have like 5 inches of snow. And I was like, this is not a good thing. So, and the other deal, I looked out and there was like not even any tracks. And I know there's somebody who would have been basically right down my road within the hour. So I kind of freaked out. I was like, holy crap, we've got that much snow to covered up the tracks and then built it back in that much. It must really be pouring down like hell. So I headed out to the garage. Actually, I got a few things around here done. Ate a bowl of cereal and that. Headed out to the garage to do a couple projects. I'm trying to finish a couple things up that without my planner. Had to change my plans of what I was going to make for some gifts and that kind of stuff. So headed out that way and then was just going to work out there for a while. It wasn't that cold. It's in the 20s right now this morning, so I thought nothing about it. Let's work out here without really firing the stove up. Then I realized I had some finishing I had to do, so that stuff will not cure in the cold. So went ahead and knocked up the threw a bunch of wood in the stove, got it going, and luckily it didn't take that long to heat up in there because it was fairly warm last night and it was only down in the 20s right now. So it wasn't that big a deal. Got it going, came back in, kind of let some stuff kind of warm up overall more before I actually sprayed the finish. Ended up spraying 4 different things out there. It surprisingly, I sat next to the wood stove and really kind of let it bake in there a lot quicker than what it would if I just had it setting out like normal, day. But I was kind of in a hurry, doing some sanding and stuff. I lost like a good hour, maybe an hour and a half. Hell, it might have been 2 hours. It seemed like it was forever. I lost a lot of time today looking for my sanding disc pads. I bought a bunch of them off Amazon here a while back, and I knew I put them out in the garage somewhere. I could not find them. I looked all over hiding their hair for it. I could not find it anywhere. I've been moving some cabinets around, changed some shelving around, different things, and the garage is still a mess. So I just couldn't find it. Went and looked in the rental house, came back in the house here and looked numerous times. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I gave up, went to move over to the belt sander and said I was gonna use the belt sander, and realized that the belt sander is in a tumble with my buddy. So he's got a handful of my tools when we built that smoking cabin, and I realized I haven't got those all back yet. Same as my RotoZip, I needed it for a project a couple days ago and didn't have it. So he's got a handful of stuff up there I gotta get back from him so I can basically have all my tools back here again. Didn't think I needed them, but now I do. So in the process of going to where I normally keep my belt sander that's now in a tumble at my buddy's place, I found my discs. So in the process of moving to a different type of sander, I found the sanding pads I needed, was able to knock out what I had to do. But like I said, I lost an hour, maybe 2 hours. It seemed like it was forever. I was looking for that stuff. You get that frustration in your head where you're just like, I knew I have this somewhere. I spent the money on it. I have the products. I have a box full of each. There's no reason why I can't, find these. And then I finally end up stumbling across them and found them. Then I headed back in off and on between spraying and stuff. And the fumes get kind of not really that bad in there. I've got a big giant furnace, like a big shop dust collector and stuff, which will help knock a lot of that out of the air. And just making some cuts with my new chop saw. I got a new sliding radial arm chop saw from Rigid. Works great. I just need to mount it on an actual base somewhere, and now it's like a movable base that's not, I don't want it to move that much. So I've got to figure out how to, I got to decide I'm going to put that in my workbench. I didn't realize it's going to be as big as it is. It looked a lot smaller in the store up on a shelf, kind of away from me a little bit than it does right at my face trying to get it out of the box. It's heavy. It's awkward. It's huge. I got to get a bunch of things set up and lined up on it. Like it's got the laser guided cutter for the saw blade, and it's not even close to accurate. I'd say it's probably a 64th of an inch off, maybe even a 16th of an inch off. It's way the hell off. So I got to do some research and read up on that to see how to go about actually adjusting that laser so that it works. What's use having a laser if it doesn't work any better than that? So I am going to hold on the box because I thought when I bought that thing, I thought it was supposed to have dual lasers. one on each side, and that way just where the in between the lasers were is actually going to cut the kerf out of the blade, and this one has one. So I got to do some research on it. I'm not getting too wrapped up in that, but it really was one of the things I was buying it for, is for that purpose. I like the idea of, because normally the laser blade or the laser just kind of goes where the blade will go, but this one actually will show two lasers and it will just outline the blade. So in between the lasers, what's going to be removed, so you can make cuts on both sides of the line basically at that point. So otherwise, just on one side line doesn't cut quite as accurate. So anyway, trying to figure that out. Like I said, I got to look it up and see what's going on. I also thought it had like, I don't know. I think I might have got an old model is what happened. I think I might, because the stuff I've been looking up on YouTube and that, I think is a newer model, and it's got some newer features this one doesn't have. Other than the dual lasers, the other stuff I didn't care about. So I got to decide if it's worth the hassle of taking it back and trying to get a new actual model. So I might have to go to a different store, because they had like 4 of these on the shelf and they're all identical. So I'll figure it out and go from there. So got that done. I got a handful of things done. Did some more sweating of some pipes. Soldered some stuff together. I figured since I learned how to sweat pipes, work on my hot water heater, I might as well go ahead and continue doing that. So I made a couple projects with some copper piping in that. Something just kind of neat and unique. A little gift idea. End up knocking out a couple other gifts. I got a few things done. Not nearly as much as I'd like to have done, but oh well. I still got a little bit of time for Christmas. After all, it's only the 18th. So, I mean, that's like a whole week away. So what can I do? As of right now, I did get my truck back. I got to, actually I went to head out because I thought the roads were worse than they were. I was actually going to go for my run and go pick my mom up at work. So I left the dog home, took off running to go out to meet her at her job, clean off her car and drive her home. She doesn't like driving in the bad weather that much. And I thought, no big deal. I'll go ahead and knock that out, and I'll finish my run up after I bring her back home and go from there. Headed out and got to like the highway, and I realized it's just wet and slushy. The highways are 100% just look like it's been raining. Like the side roads were slushy still. The highway, the main road to where she works, is going to be perfectly fine. So I said piss on that. Headed back to the house, grabbed the dog because I didn't want to put a muddy, sloppy dog in her car. Went in and headed back to the house, grabbed the dog, took off my run. Shortly into the run, I got a call from the mechanic saying my truck was done. So I ran on down there instead to pick it up, and ended up realizing I thought I stopped my watch partway through. I was going to let the dog kind of walk and just smell some stuff. I like to run small. It's kind of part of my obedience training, is to have him walk next to me. Running, I don't want him running next to me because he trips me too bad. So I did a little bit of that walking. Realized once I got to the truck, there's like a half mile I didn't stop my watch. So my running time was like way off, but oh well, it all works out in the long run. So grabbed the truck, went to head home, and the brake light still flashing. The damn fluid was empty, or the fluid was full and stuff, but the light was flashing, the buzzer's going off, and I'm like, first I called the guy, he goes, yeah, the light's still flashing, I don't know why it's flashing. We'll have to figure it out. I had to have my brother look at it, and I'm like, okay, why'd you call and tell me my truck was done? But I'm like, worst case scenario, I'll put a post-it note over top of that until I get to Kansas City and get back. Not that big a deal. He swore to me it's safe, yada yada. Got it home, called the brother. Like I said, the buzzer started going off. I started driving it. I'm like, that's not going to work. I cannot drive away without doing buzzers. It's never going to happen. So end up getting here, and he said make sure you check the different stuff. So I checked a few things there, topped off fluid, all that kind of junk. Headed down there. When he finally got back to this shop, he's got 2 shops, and was able to fix it fairly quickly. It was just kind of an annoyance of the factor of going back down there when I don't know, I shouldn't have been given a truck back when it wasn't fixed, but that's neither here nor there, I guess. So got that all done, wrapped up, got back home. Needed to make tea, so that takes like forever. I can luckily do other stuff while doing that. Got my clothes and stuff all packed up, got my gear together, all my running gear. As of right now, I'm leaving in the morning for Kansas City. I have somebody getting an award down there. I'm going to go down and see them and then hang out there for a couple days and then head back up. So I was going to head down this afternoon and then spend the night tonight, catch them in the morning, and then basically head home Saturday. And that got